Hello everybody, welcome to the Balonga World, a channel where we aim at discovering things. And today, we're going to talk of the Khoikhoi people and discover who they are. And before we get into it, let's consider subscribing to the channel as it is a new thing. Like video, comment, and share it to others so that it can reach a very wide community. And that's the right thing to do. Let's get into it. The Khoikhoi are a race of Melanesians. As we are Melanesians, not Africans. They are located in Africa, in the southwestern portion of Southern Africa, in an arid land zone called the Kalahari Desert, mostly. They encompass 6 countries, that is South Africa, Namibia, Angola, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Botswana. They are related in nature with the Bantu neighbors, except for their language, mostly, and the body size, the skin color, and some other few aspects. They are slender, medium-sized, and proactive. They are egalitarian, caring, and warless. They make one of the most peaceful people on the continent of Africa. Categorically, they are divided in 2 forms. There is what is known as the Khoikhoi and what was called as the San. The Khoikhoi lived in large groups and mostly in South Africa, the Cape, the Karoo. And mostly they were a little bit taller than the San, and they were herders. They kept cattle and goats and sheep, and they lived in large groups. On top of hunting, they did that. And the San primarily lived on hunting and gathering. And these are the ones that have remained in numbers, having those Khoikhois of South Africa being decimated by the Boers, and the Dutch, and the other Europeans. But they were in that kind of those differences. These people are unique in nature. They have kinky hairs like Bantus, facial features that are more Bantu with mixture of Mongoloids kind of features. For example, their eyelids resemble the Chinese or the Turks. Their skin color is yellow-brown. In other words, they are copper-colored, which also resembles the Mongolian race. Plus other features that including their jaws and their structures of the head is not that similar to the Bantu neighbors.
Important because it was the first culture on earth, and much people should know that the Khoikhoi must be like more important to them because we all are Khoisans.
Their land is mostly wilderness. And for that, they have drafted a simple way of life that make them perpetually survive in that harsh desert environment. They feed on hunted meat, wild fruits, and roots that are available and edible. Those who are located in dry areas, they access water, drinking water, through the morning mist on leaves, and mostly by digging special roots that are tasteless and have a lot of watery juices. Juices that are tasteless, but watery and a lot of water, and they survive in that way. They love meat. They eat a lot of meat in their diet, especially during the time when these countries, our countries, were not yet in full organization and controlling and restricting the way they are doing it now. They love meat. They hunt a lot of animals like waterbucks, antelopes, buffaloes, elephants, hares, duikers, bush pigs, all that. They love that. And they do that, and that's how they survive and preserve their families. They are good herbalists. They heal their diseases through the use of simple herbs they collect from the bushes, healing diseases without the use of witchcraft. Their clothing attire includes only just a few clothes. They just put few clothes on their bodies. Mostly, they love to have their bodies open. Most of the the clothes they wear just cover the private parts, and the other parts just free. And most women and men, both of them. Although it's not everybody, but most of them still go on with that tradition. They sing and dance during their free times. Now they do work. They weave baskets and they paint and they do a lot of art, which these days is helping them mostly in no, collecting revenue. They are good artists. They make a lot of things that are good. That when the tourists come in the area, they buy a lot of Khoisan made products. And mostly in Namibia, a lot of no Khoisan made products are found in the markets in Windhoek, and sometimes that drive the most tourists to go and see how these people live in the bush and in the areas today, as they no longer that much the bush. It's something that their community, and that these people who are really, they are good people. They are good people. One other aspect of their survival is love for one another. They really, really love each other. There is no incident of any form of war that has ever been recorded across the Khoisan country. There is no war. They are different in tribes. They speak a related language, but different in tribe, but they don't fight. That's one thing, they don't fight. They share the work in an egalitarian and communal way, and they share the food that they get from that. And in that way, they are preserved. And that's the basis, the bottom line of their strength to live in such a harsh areas where most of us, the Bantus, fail to live in. Their language, termed as the Khoikhoi language in general, is unique and it's different from the other languages across the region. You can say they are engulfed, that they are surrounded by Bantus, and all the languages on their all corners are different from them, and the language is characterized by clicks, special clicks when they are speaking. Although some Bantus do have clicks, people like the Kosa, the Zulu, the Ngonis, they do have, but still, linguistically, the way they name things, the nomenclature and others, they don't suit the Bantus. We can say their language is also an isolate. They are an isolate, just like we have the Sandawis, in East Africa, and the Hadzas. They speak isolate languages, and their special cliques. No, and they love their language though. Their language, they like it, and they like their way of life. And the people on the continent who appear to be related to the Khoikhoi are the the forest peoples of Central Africa, the Baka, the Bambuti, the Sandawe in East Africa, the Hadza, and other fews, and other few peoples somewhere in North Africa. These are the people that have come to be characterized as related to the Khoikhoi. Although these people speak different languages, but they appear to be the same. They speak the languages of the Bangui, others speak Bantu languages like Bakas, and others speak isolate languages, and others like the Babinga. In some parts, they speak Nilo-Saharans. And these people are related to the Khoisan in a way that they look also the same. They're brown, and there's still a lot of investigation on that. But we can say there's something there going on in between. Yes. The Kalahari Desert harbors a lot of minerals, different minerals, from platinum to uranium to diamond to copper and many other minerals that we need and that our countries sell across the world from our continent. And one of those minerals that is very valuable is diamond, and the diamond is mined, for example, in Botswana. Botswana contributes the largest diamond production on the entire earth. It is the second largest diamond producer, and these diamonds are produced in Khoikhoi lands. But the money is eaten by the Bantus, and we don't know that, and it's not right. In Namibia, we do have copper mines. They are mostly located in Nama, the Namakwa land, and no, that's somewhere Damaraland. And the other thing that we produce, which is found in Khoikhoi land, which is also Namakwa land, is uranium, a rare element and reactive, very reactive, mineral we have on Earth called uranium, and it is one of the most feared natural resource on Earth, which is used to generate electricity in developed countries, and also used as the most toughest weapon that Earth has ever found. However, all these good things that we see, and I personally see in these peoples, something happened to them, of which they are not happy until today. Since the coming of Europeans and the other merchants from Europe and Asia to dominate Africa, and more specifically those Europeans who came to South Africa, the Dutch, the Boers, the British, and others, the Germans, the life of the Khoikhoi was no longer the same. In simple terms, it just began worsening. Their numerical numbers began to shrink rapidly. For example, in South Africa, where there was a lot of Khoikhoi, that even today almost running to 35 to 40% of South Africa is the Khoikhoi country. The Boers who came from Europe, somewhere the Netherlands, began a campaign of shooting and killing the Khoikhoi people, whom they considered too not human beings, and they wanted to annihilate them so that they can take the land. And they did that. They shot these Khoikhoi people with rifles and enslaving them, and almost they killed. The only family that we can say is still surviving today and speaking the language is the Namas. That's what happened. And the coming of the British and the German, mostly the German, in places like Namibia, also the aim was to take the land and enslave the people and take away the people. Take away the land from the people, in short. The British created Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Namibia. They later on became Namibian owners. And they gave power to those tribes who were more powerful to rule those who were not very powerful. And for example, in Botswana, the Swanas took the baton from the British. And as we live now, the language don't go along with our Bantu languages. And as a result, the Botswana people and the Botswana government have decided not to be engaging themselves with the Khoikhoi, and they're trying to push them away from their lands, given that the land of the Khoikhoi in Botswana is the largest, the largest traditional land, and it encompasses a lot of mines. Minerals in Botswana are found in Khoikhoi land. For example, the diamonds and others. They are found in the land of the Basarwa. The government continue pushing them and even taking them away from the national park which the British created for them, and now they are pushing them out toward the direction of Namibia in the place called Newted, the driest area in Botswana. In Zimbabwe, the same thing is happening, and the government make policies that don't go along with the way of life that the Khoikhoi live in. The Silis are nowhere to be even found. I don't know if they're still there. The Basarwas who still survive in some places are still strangled in the area that they don't even make a living. They're the poorest people in Zimbabwe and the most affected by disease. HIV have claimed almost half of the population. They are HIV positive, contracted the disease from the Bantu domineers. In Zambia, they are in a national park, but they are better on that they're not considered. Even 98% of people don't know that the Kwengos, the Khoikhoi are part of being what is called Zambia. In Namibia, they are better, though still they are being encroached by the Bantu expansion, and in Angola it's like that, and we are still seeing it. Bushman families scrambled to fill water cans for the last time. In my personal conclusion, I think we should not just sit idle when such things are happening to people. We are not only in Africa. Thousands and hundreds of millions of people were stolen by the same people, the Europeans, from this continent and were taken across the world. We have the cities. These people were taken from East Africa. They are in India now. They have communities in India. They are black like me, and mostly they are Bantus. We have hundreds of millions in Brazil who were taken. Some people who are Bantus are languishing and around in the Atlantic, in the St. Helena. Some people who are taken from us are in Mexico now. So when we are, strangling this, then we're just showing how little we are in our heads. We are also in danger. But anyway, we should think though. Thank you for watching this video. We need your comments and we need your engagement. Let us know what we should do, because this family must be preserved. This is the earth where things are not just exactly the same. We are different, and I think tolerance is the best we need to follow. Thank you very much.
In 1996, the government started to move the San from their homes to resettlement camps where, it was claimed, education and healthcare could be more easily provided. In 3 big clearances in 1997, 2002 and 2005, virtually